3, 2, 1. Ah! Here we go, Chapter 1. We're playing Asagao Academy.
Woohoo! Chapter 1. Oh, I clicked.
She's cute. The train made its way along the gentle curve of the coast of Japan, whisking me farther and farther from home. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced in whatever article he was reading and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked if I could join him in the last compartment with any available space. He shrugged, nodded, and adjusted his newspaper without ever making eye contact. It had been almost an hour, in fact, and he hadn't once looked at me. Devoid of conversation, I took instead to counting the buttons on the pretentiously lush carmine seat cushions. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, over and over. Now and again, I turned and looked out the window where the trees were blurring by. Sometimes the smeared green would break and reveal the quiet blue of the Sea of Japan. Eventually, this rapidity made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
The train compartment shuddered around us. My eyes wandered to the boy in his jacket. It wasn't the school-issued blue that I and the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was a green, varsity-like jacket with an embroidered, poorly sewn on the front. So, you're a first year then? He folded his newspaper neatly, set it in his lap, and looked at me with a half-interested gaze.
I like how he sparkles.
He is sparkling. He's a model. Look at
he's
his
a
tie.
vampire.
His tie is just like right.
I know,
way down there.
that's awkward.
Did you just catch me staring? Now that the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me through heavy-lidded eyes. His hair was immaculately groomed, and his teeth straight and blindingly bright. There was something about him. The way the light hit him made him look like he was almost sparkling.
Me?
Laughed. He glanced around the compartment, empty beside us, and laughed.
Oh. No, I'm not a first year. I'm a third year.
The train began to slow, metal wheels groaning against metal tracks. The sudden shift threatened to rob me of whatever was left in my stomach, but I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, willing myself to keep it together. What kind of impression would I leave puking on a student before I even arrived at the academy?
Oh, beautiful. I've done that before. I puked on somebody.
Especially the sparkling guy.
I know.
The boy frowned. I picked at the hem of my cotton skirt. That's not possible. I've never seen you before. It took a moment of mouth fishing to find a response.
It's because I'm a transfer student?
He laughed again. A transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptable letter from my acceptance acceptable letter.
It is acceptable.
It's passable as a letter. I removed my acceptance letter from the front pocket of my uniform. The paper, heavyweight, off-white, had accumulated creases from my reading and rereading, as if the words might have changed since the last time I read it. The boy took it, studied it, then handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
Well then, Hana, I suppose I'll be seeing you around. He smiled at me as he picked up the suitcase lying next to him. By the time I hiccuped a response, he was already gone from the compartment. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then that I realized he, having gotten it from my acceptance letter, knew my name, and I never got his. Oh no, we haven't gotten the name of the gorgeous sparkling boy.
We'll get it.
The train settled at the station, and I filed out with the rest of the uniformed students. It was early April, and the last frost of winter had come and gone. The trees were already green, their leaves shivering and the occasional gust weaving through them. The air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. I walked along the road with the swarm of blue-jacketed bodies. God, I suck at reading today.
I know.
Of blue-jacketed bodies, looking at the little groups breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing so animatedly around me. I held my suitcase tight in my sweaty hands. It was leather-bound and worth more than anything it contained. It wasn't far to the school, and I was, for the first time in my life, thankful that what I owned didn't amount to much. My school issued black Oxfords, click, click, clicked on the pavement. I walked this walk over and over in my mind. So many nights I lay awake, imagining what it would be like to walk from the train station to Asagao Academy for the first time. My new start. Oh, this is nice music. I always imagined that everything would change for me on this walk. That somehow, everything would be magically different. But as I looked around, I realized nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. Ooh. Looks like a college campus.
It does, but if it's an academy, I can see why it looks like a college.
Yeah. By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I forgot all about the disappointment slouching in the back of my throat. The school, framed by the gate's twisting black metal, was just as beautiful as the glossy photos I saw in its pamphlets. This was it. Asagao Academy. We made it! Through the train.
I know. We didn't
Glanced
die.
around.
There was no Dementors.
Yeah. I glanced around. The swarm of students gathered in around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people bounced around Asagao's main building. Blue people. A girl pressed a button to one side of the gate. I read that right. A girl pressed a button to one side of the gate. The excitement in the air was almost palpable. Almost Emperor Palpatine. A few moments later, the black gate, with great effort, creaked outwards and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted into motion, I followed along, sheep in the herd. My stomach tied itself into knots. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked.
Old man.
Hello, old man. A tired-looking man with graying hair called out for first years, a cluster of fresh-faced students gathering around him. Not Hagrid, though.
Darn it.
Oh, tall boy. Hey, look at that girl! I turned. A few feet away, a small group of boys were pointing at me and snickering. Pink hair? Are you kidding me? How desperate can you get? Hot shame crawled down my neck. I attached myself to a group of girls, following a few steps behind them. In the distance, cicadas hummed in time to my shoes crunching against gravel. My hair. It wasn't my fault my hair looked like this. Luckily, I found myself at the girls' dormitory. A large sign in the lawn reading, Primrose House. More flowery things. The building dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. How many students did Asagao have?
Looks like a lot. This school's giant.
Oh, hello. As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. I looked away. Then looked back. She was staring at me. She walked over. Uh-oh. She's gonna beat us up.
Oh, you must be my roommate!
Hey, she said that line.
Read.
Alright.
That's
Next.
awesome. I was like, oh, I'll read it. Oh, no.
I eyed her warily. She was smiling and bouncing in a way that suggested her views on life were akin to a perpetual bouncy castle.
Yes.
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. Let me guess. Room 325?
I thought back to the paper I received a month prior with a list of all the supplies I needed for the year and my dorm arrangements.
Yeah, that's right.
She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. Was she laughing at me?
When I found out my roommate was a transfer student, I knew you were going to be a total main character.
What
does that mean?
Meta here.
I'm sorry. A what? When I saw you outside the gate, I knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair.
Felt a lump forming in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me. I hadn't spent more than 5 minutes on this campus and I was already being mocked. My hands began to tremble.
Is there something wrong with my hair? Said that kind of weird.
Her face slackened from its amused smile to a more worried expression. Then she began to laugh again.
No, it's great. I'm sorry. We're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we?
I'm Sasuke. You
Oh.
must be Hana.
Dude, I should just listen to her.
I don't think all of her lines are voice acted though.
It's nice to meet you, May. May?
My.
Oh, is she gonna say it? Nope. All your school books are waiting in our room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad. I started walking. Oh, that short part.
Yeah, you're right. When I started walking toward the dorm's front doors, I followed behind like a lost puppy.
Puppies. Did you check in at the front desk already? No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Nice catching that yawn.
Good. They'll offer to have a staff member give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around. We don't get many transfer students in year 3, you know. How many years are there at this school for?
Probably.
Oh, is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate our room with. I started already. I hope you don't mind. But I did wait to string the lights. I thought we could do it together, you know?
Lights. She spoke quickly. The words bubbling from her mouth and left me no time to answer until she finished the end of her monologue.
There, I'm glad she spoke really quickly because I was speaking very fast. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. She held the front door open for me and I hurried inside.
Oh god, my mind is just
It's okay.
off in La La Land.
Girls filled up and down the hallway, howling greetings and exchanging vague niceties that were more often than not, how was your break? And look at that tan you got.
It seemed like everyone knew each other. I followed Maya as she led me through the maze of students and up 2 flights of stairs. Each dorm floor looked the same as the last, narrow white doors lining the sides of the pale pink walls. Thin gold numbers were tacked to the front of each, the numbers rising as we climbed.
You're not missing anything with the campus tour, I promise. Mr. Saitomo, I think. Saitomo does them every year, and he's like totally dull. He just drags you around the entire campus and talks in that weird squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
I smiled, trying to let this calm my nerves.
Thanks.
We headed down a hallway on the 3rd floor. Maya stopped us in front of a door numbered 325.
Here we are. Oh, it's so cute.
A faint smell of potpourri wafted through the room. The walls, like the hallway, were a soft, powdery pink. Maya already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazines, cutouts, and photographs.
I especially like that obsession poster. Like, that's kind of weird up at the top.
By Alvin Stein.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Well, I think we'll continue this next time and see what this academy has in store for us.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Bye, everybody!
Bye.